Rockwood Saloon Authentic Apparel takes rock and roll fashion to a new level with their tees and tanks for men and women. They also make custom shirts, jackets, vests, pants, hoodies, beanies, and more. The Rockwood Graphics Department can design anything from your logo, t-shirt design, promo posters, band swag, and printed at great prices. From tour shirts and custom stage gear to killer threads for the street to the stage, Rockwood Saloon has it all. Rockwood Saloon, authentic rock and roll apparel for stage and street. World tour tested for quality, comfort, style, and durability. Check them out at www.rockwoodsaloon.com. That's rockwoodsaloon.com.
Hey ladies, Sass Pants Designs will take that rock shirt that everyone has and make it your own in a flattering, sassy, and simple way. There are one-of-a-kind tank tops, lace-up tees, and tube top dresses already in stock. Check out the online store at sasspantsdesigns.com and like Sass Pants Designs on Facebook for special offers and custom orders. That's sasspantsdesigns.com, sasspantsdesigns.com. Sass Pants will make you the envy of the party.
Vinny Tortorich here. Hey man, if you're a fan of Izzy, you might be a fan of me too. I'm the guy that gets people to lose a lot of weight. I have something free for you guys. This is no clickbait. Just go to VinnyTortorich.com and there's a big banner. It's a free PDF, how to lose weight. It's an intro guide to NSNG at VinnyTortorich.com. Go check it out exclusively for anyone who listens to Izzy Presley. Thank you.
Hi, this is Bobby Brown, and welcome to another fucking podcast.
You kids with your loud music and your Dan Fogelberg, your Zima, hula hoops, and Pac-Man video games, don't you see? People today have attention spans that can only be measured in nanoseconds.
See, son, old legends never die. They just lose weight.
Like a legend and an outerwood bum with a lot of light.
Yes, it is party time. Hello, Hollywood. Hello, world. Hello, my loyal minions. It is good to see you. And as always, good to be seen. My name is Izzy Presley. And welcome to another rousing edition of another fucking podcast. In studio, I will have Raanen Bozzio and Chreighton Emrick of Orgy. Well, actually, they're here. They're just not talking yet. They will shortly. Make sure you do check out all of the social media. Facebook, the show page is another effing podcast, and of course my entertainment page, Izzy Presley 1. So go like those, and of course the Twitter machine, which is Real Izzy Presley on my quest for 1 million followers. Currently sitting about 2,500. Slowly eking my way up, and also you can buy merch on all of those pages. Just hit that shop now button. You can buy the t-shirts. I've got the Drunken Summit t-shirts. I've got the Act and Tribute to Ace Frehley t-shirts, who we just had an amazing show in Hollywood. Turn that fan on. It's getting sweaty in here already. I have that effect on a room. We just had an amazing show at Hollywood at Lucky Strike on Thursday with the West Coast edition featuring Chad Stewart from Faster Pussycat, Johnny Martin from LA Guns, Patrick Kinnison from Lita Ford, and we also had Alex Kane sit in on a song, and we had Rick Fox of Steeler and Wasp sit in on a song. It was a good time. It was a great time, and of course, we got a couple shows coming up in the Minnesota area in May. May 18th, we'll be at Stoney's in Rockville, Minnesota, along with Allison Chains. That's Allison as a chick's name. Allison Chains. It's a Allison Chains tribute, obviously. And a band called Tugboat Rampage. That's Stoney's in Rockville, a fun little dive-ass, badass biker bar that rules. So make sure you come on out to that show if you are in the area. And then the night after, we will be in Maplewood, which is outside of the Twin Cities, or in the Twin Cities, in the metro area, however the fuck you want to say it. We'll be playing with Black Rainbow. It's a tribute to Dio, and Devil's Rejects was a tribute to Rob Zombie. So that should be an amazing, amazing night. And also, anybody that wants to contribute to the show. Now, this is not free to put on, but I will never charge you because I'm not that big of an asshole. Plus, I actually want people to listen. So if you want to donate to the show, you absolutely can. And if you donate, no matter what you donate, or if you buy any merch, I will send you my voice doing Waze. So you can have me navigating you on Waze. And all you got to do is donate or buy something. I'll send that shit to you. I don't care how much you spend. I don't care how much you send. And it's very easy to send money. PayPal.me/Izzy Presley. That's all it is. PayPal.me/Izzy Presley. And I'll send you that Waze. It is amazing. It is hilarious. And I did it on the shitter. Yeah. So you can actually hear me talking to you while I was on the shitter. Very, very cool. And funny. And all you got to do is donate. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome in studio from Orgy, Raanen Bozzio, and Chreighton Emrick.
I'm going to have to cut you off right there because it's actually Bozzio.
Bozzio. Oh, see.
That's the magic of, as you were saying earlier.
Magic of not knowing what the fuck you're talking about.
That's right.
But it's all good. Even if you did the research, you'd probably get some wrong ways to.
Right. Dude, that's the way it always happens.
And I got a double weird name too, because Raanen is like.
See, and I thought it was Raanen, but when he said Raanen, I'm like, all right, cool. I didn't even have to ask.
Yeah, everybody thinks it's Raanen or Ramen or Raanen or.
It's not ramen.
Yeah. It gets auto-corrected. It gets auto-corrected to ramen all the time. So, yeah.
That's good. So you guys have a show on February. Wow. The fuck? Where am I?
Going back in time.
I still think it's February. I still think I'm on the Monsters of Rock Cruise. May 11th at the Whiskey A Go-Go, which is your first show, Raanen.
Yes, my first show ever playing drums.
Ever.
I've never played.
We just assumed he's good.
Okay. My first show with Orgy, and I'm excited to be playing with these guys. I'm really happy that Chreighton helped me out with inviting me into the band and saying, "Hey, man, I'd really love for you to play drums." And he's my boy. We both get into the wrestling and the weird podcasts and the. You name it. We got a lot of
witchcraft.
No.
Witchcraft.
Right. We have
DDP yoga.
ceremonies.
I see Izzy partakes.
Yes, I'm all about the DDP yoga.
Well, you do it?
Oh yeah, totally. It saved my life. It continues to save my life. If it wasn't for DDP yoga, and this is not an advertisement, guys, clearly, but my back would probably be like hanging on by a thread right now.
See, and this is the thing. I've seen so many people post, I got back problems. I don't know what to do. I can't afford the doctor. And I keep telling them, watch this video. And I sent him the video of that dude that was like 600 some pounds. You know the video I'm talking about. Arthur, right? No, not Arthur. Not Arthur. The guy that was doing his weekly update thing.
Goodness. No, I haven't been.
He had lost like 200 pounds. And then all of a sudden he was in the middle of doing the DDP yoga. And this is the great thing about DDP yoga. And this isn't an advertisement. DDP's been on the show talking about it. Everybody knows I'm a wonk for it, even though I have it, but I'm lazy. Even though I know I need to do it. I know it. It's like, all right, I'll start it on Monday. Anyways.
Well, this is a good reminder now.
This is a great reminder. And he was in the middle of doing his thing, and his back was all fucked up. And the doctor's like, well, one, we can't operate on you because your insurance won't cover it, and two, you're too fat. There's nothing we can do. And he was
tools large enough,
right? And I mean, this is truth. This guy was doing the DDP yoga, and he felt a pop, and he went numb, and like a minute later, all the pain was gone.
Wow,
that's by doing this DDP yoga. And Jericho swears by it. All these wrestlers swear by it. All these athletes swear by it.
Yeah,
it is, and it's not yoga. That's the thing. It's not.
And it's so easy to do, just pop in the DVDs, or they have the app now, right? But you can just you kind of do it at your own level, right? That's the beauty of it. It's anybody can do it, even me, I'm very not flexible at all, but with the DDP yoga and doing all these stretches and stuff like that, slowly but surely, my hips, my knees, my back, all my shoulders, you know what I mean? All that stuff. Wrists, that's another huge thing. My wrists, just the wrist exercises alone for when you're playing drums or working out, whatever. I have a lot of wrist issues, so it's good to get them all worked out.
Right. Well, see, luckily my wrists are good because I jerk off a lot.
Very limber.
Very
limber
limber.
wrist.
I can.
say that's taking away from my wrist. So like it's going to be cramped up sooner than later. I'm going to have just a claw, and you can stick a drumstick through it, and maybe something else if I'm lucky.
Which might help you out in the long run, because you'll get that fucking God, what was that politician? Norm Macdonald did the Bob Dole, and he always had that pencil in his hand. Yeah. You'll just have a drumstick in your hand.
Beautiful, and I can put any sort of political messages I want on the drum set.
There you go.
What I mean? Advance that part of my career.
I fucking love it. We already got people chiming in. Scotty Strickland, one of my loyal listeners, says, "Hey, Casey."
And the Sunshine Band?
Yeah, and the Sunshine Band. No, because it's a C, so it's not that's more Casey at bat.
Well,
hello from Northern Canada. Oh, Casey from the Monsters of Rock Cruise is checking in as well. Casey Powell from Texas. Hello, buddies. And Casey has the Waze application with my voice on it. Turn left. It's rather humorous. Eric checking in. How many S's in Presley? Just one, Bubba. Presley, just like the king. Steve Ferlazzo.
There he is.
Ferlazzo.
Our boy.
What up, Steve? Boy. See, all it takes is to get some people that are actually playing on Soundcheck Live every once in a while for him to, actually listen to the show.
That's how we met. That's literally how we met with Soundcheck Live. Yeah.
So you played it?
It was the first time I played it. Yeah, it was January of 2016. And I played with a lot of the Iron Maidens and Kenny Kanowski.
So this wasn't Soundcheck Live. This was still Ultimate Jam.
Yeah, it was still Ultimate Jam night. Right. But yeah, Steve was playing keys that night actually.
Yep.
And yeah, I played Rainbow in the Dark, and Chreighton and Mel were in the audience, and we met somehow. I don't know, one way or another. But then we just started talking, and Mel, his girlfriend, is really into cooking and food and stuff like that, and so am I. We're both drummers, so she had me join in on her cooking show. Him and I started talking wrestling, and the rest is history.
Wait a minute, cooking show?
Or, not only a cooking show she had for YouTube, for like Inked Magazine or something.
Oh, wow.
Well, it was in production. It was actually never released. She still owns the footage and has the footage. Got a lot of good interviews. She interviewed Andy Dick, Doyle, this guy over here, Raanan. Yeah, a lot of Anita Strauss. Yeah, it was cool.
Nia Strauss, who just played on WrestleMania.
And Mel is working
I saw that. That was badass.
Too. Yeah. Oh, right, badass. Go ahead.
We were talking about. I said, Nita, was badass on
Nakamura.
WrestleMania. Yeah, that was cool. Nakamura, the big heel turn for any.
Spoilers. I was so disappointed in WrestleMania. It was bad.
It was 50-50 for me.
It was. I mean, that fucking Reigns match was just like, dude. I'm sorry. I'm old enough to remember the days when if the champ or anybody hit that finisher, it's over.
Yeah.
And he kicks out of 5 F5s. It's like, come on.
Yeah. Like now they're starting to do the indie spots that they used to make fun of like, oh, somebody kicking out of this many finishers, and it's like now they're starting to do all that stuff.
Yeah, and then at the end, the brutal elbow was just like kind of gross.
Yeah, I mean,
the amount of blood
they've already
loss was just like, oh man.
And they've already.
I love that.
That was a lot of. I think some of his brain was hanging out. But
dude, what about the spear on the greatest Royal Rumble was the most vicious thing. He hurt.
No, I didn't. I was gonna go back. I was gonna watch it because I still on my.
Weird.
I'm still on my free month of the network.
Yeah, it's like a house show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's in Saudi Arabia, so it's a little different.
Yeah, and they couldn't have any females,
right?
Because of the laws over there.
Yeah,
I knew we would end up talking about wrestling instead of music. I love this.
Yeah, right. We go right into
Just
wrestling.
gotta watch make sure the audience doesn't start.
Watch the audience just go straight off.
If you knew my fans, they're eating this up right now. Ferlazzo's probably not because he does.
Yeah, he's already.
He doesn't even know what a ball is. That's how much he likes sports.
Yeah, right. I was like, wow, what is this wrestling term that he's talking about? Ball. Like I was waiting for you to drop some knowledge on some really insider stuff for me, but no, you pulled the.
Did Chreighton tell you where I was a couple weeks ago? Did you tell him about this?
No.
I get a text from Don Jameson, and I'm a name dropper too. So I get a text from Don Jameson. He's like, well, dude, what are you doing? You gonna come to? He was at the Hookers and Blow show when they played at the Whiskey like 3 weeks ago, a month ago, something like that. He's like, you come to the show? I'm like, nah, dude, I can't. I'm fucking working. I want to, but yada, yada, yada. He's like, well, what are you doing on Monday? I'm like, probably doing a podcast and work. He's like, well, can you take me to Stone Cold's house?
Holy
and I go, what?
Yeah, right.
And he's like, yeah, man, I'm doing fucking.
You didn't say, oh hell yeah.
Oh, he goes.
Or did I just step over your punchline?
No. Actually,
Okay,
he goes. Do you like wrestling? And I go, well, let me put it this way. I tweeted at Jerry the King Lawler and asked him if he would leave me the AWA title belt in his will. So yeah, I kind of like wrestling. So, well, can you take me to Stone Cold? So I'm like, oh hell yeah. So even though I didn't say that, but whatever.
See, I'll get into a Stone Cold any day now, son. Stone Cold's what got me, what got a young, impressionable Raanen Bozzio, 8 years old, into professional wrestling. In case you didn't get it the first time, it's Bozzio. You little mealy mouse son of a gun. 4 eyes with a ponytail. What the hell? You come in here with your little Blackhawks jersey. What? And you're drinking your little Monster. What? And you're talking into your little microphone with your little guests. What?
And I'm looking in your beady little eyes.
And I see the sweat dripping down your forehead. That's why you had to turn on that fan, son. But now it's about to get real Stone Cold up in here.
There's only one way this can end. You have to give him a Stone Cold Stunner now.
Yeah, right, by the end of the day. That does great for audio, right?
Oh, right. Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, I take him over, and we're at 317 Gimmick Street. I don't know if you listen to Stone Cold's podcast. Yeah.
Believe me, you're speaking to my heart right now.
And we needed to get another chair, so he's like, well, let's go over to the other house. So he takes us over to 316 Gimmick Street. Very modest house. I mean, Stone Cold's got money. He's very frugal.
As he likes to say.
But it's a nice modest house, and we go back over, and he's got this huge fucking, like, it's almost like a pilot, like a UFO pilot chair that he's sitting in. That's like Austin 316. It's just, it's all Stone Cold.
Wow, he has like a gimmicked out chair that he
sits
in. That's amazing.
Of course, it's awesome. It's like his throne. Cool. It's great. Yeah. Oh. And I will say this about Stone Cold: he was so nice, and he was so inviting to me, who was just a slapdick that was tagging along with Don Jameson. He's like, "Well, God damn it, well, get a microphone set up for him." I'm like, no, dude, this is Don's interview. I'm not gonna step on Don's interview. It's all about him. He's like, "Well, God damn it. Just chime in if you want to chime in." I'm like, all right. And then he's talking, and he starts talking about podcasts. He's like, and Izzy here, Izzy's got a podcast. I'm like, oh, dude, that's... So he made me feel like I was part of something. And I was just basically, all I was doing the whole time was unwrapping his cords and rewrapping them because they were just in a fucking knot. Yeah, getting attacked by his new dog, the puppy,
Not Hershey, the Wonder Dog?
No, not Hershey, the Wonder Dog. This is the other
one,
the new one. Yeah, right? Rest in peace. This is a new one. Callie, I think is her name. Callie, the Wonder Dog.
Love it.
And then he let me pimp my shit at the end, and this is the best part. So afterwards, we're sitting around, and we're bullshitting about music, and because Jameson's a metalhead, Stone Cold's a metalhead, I'm a metalhead. And he was talking about, God, I can't remember the fucking, what was the band that was in Ace Ventura? Remember that?
Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah. Cannibal Corpse. He was talking about Cannibal Corpse and their singer. And he's like, God damn, and their singer put out this AC/DC Back in Black tribute record, and I can't find the fucking thing. It's back home in Texas. It's in my car. I don't know where the goddamn thing is, but I don't want to ruin my rep with you guys. But God damn it, I love Firehouse. And me and Don are like, yeah, those are our bros. Fuck yeah. And then he's like, God damn it, you know who I wish would have been bigger? Y&T. And we're just like, dude, really? Then I looked at him. I said, Steve, I'll make you a deal, a gentleman's bet. He looks at me and he goes, I can get you Dave Manichetti, but you got to do my show. He's like, you got a deal.
Damn.
So we'll see what happens.
Incredible.
But then he goes, well, you got your phone on you? I'm like, yeah. Take my number. I'm like, I'm just doing my best not to be a mark,
Yeah.
You have like little hearts going off over your head.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I'm freaking out. I feel like I'm living vicariously through you just hearing that story. Like, I got to meet him once. It was really cool when I was pretty young. But it was just like 2001, height of Stone Cold, you know what I mean? And he's trying to chill out backstage at an Ozfest, See, last thing he needs is some chubby Raanen Bozzio to come over. Hey, can I take your pic?
So you used to be chubby.
Oh yeah, totally. I'm not sure what happened. I feel like a lot of it was growth. I feel like maybe I was chunking up for the crazy growth spurt because I grew from like 5'2" to 5'9" in 7th grade. It was freaking crazy. It was just like, whoa, holy shit, and then just vicious growing pains all throughout until I was basically 20 or so. And that with I try to work out now with all these people like Joe Rogan being a huge inspiration, staying fit and all that jazz. And I do the keto diet and I do all that.
Dude, that's the healthiest thing you can do, man.
Yeah, man, it really helps because if I don't, then I just go crazy. Like I have a huge sweet tooth. I have a huge carb tooth. Carbs are my favorite. And my favorite alcoholic drink is beer. I love beer so much. So that's the biggest bummer about being keto. But then...
But you can you can have a Bud Light every once in a while.
Yeah, of course, totally. And I can, drink wine or tequila. But the good thing is it kind of just keeps you from drinking too. It's like, you know what? I'll just, focus on kind of getting in shape, getting the stuff together. Drink every now and then on a special occasion. But it's one of those things with all you chubby kids out there, you can make it happen, especially with that keto diet. Give that a try if you're doing
no
that
sugar,
right.
no grain, Bubba.
Yeah.
Creighton, were you ever a big fat pig too? Because I'm turning into one.
No, I was kind of a chubby kid too. That's funny. Yeah, I wasn't. I don't
but
know if
you
I was
grew
a big
taller
fat,
than me.
Yeah,
Shit,
I was a
right?
big fat kid, but maybe inside a little bit. Yeah. I'm not really on
dude,
a diet.
There's a fat kid raging inside of me, and I have to fight with him every day I'm in the grocery
Dude,
store.
I came to the conclusion today that I have to go down the way of Kevin Smith. Not now, but I'm just gonna have to start wearing hockey jerseys at all times to
and
cover up
massive
the
shorts.
And to not even the shorts. Just
Maybe a trench coat now.
A trench coat now and then not say anything.
Yeah,
just
give that a shot.
Just to cover up the ab.
Well, the thing is, Kevin Smith looks thin from neck up.
Yeah, he's one of those fat guys.
He like his body. If that's the good thing about the hockey jersey and like the large shorts is just like, oh well, it totally covers him up. So you would just think, otherwise he's not that big. But then that whole like plane thing. I mean, I think he almost died. I don't know.
Yeah, he had the Widowmaker.
Yeah, so hopefully he's getting his stuff together. From what I hear, I think he's on the right track. But Kevin,
he's now one of the Weight Watchers spokespeople.
Good. Yeah.
Is he the new Jared?
He's the new Oprah. Wasn't Oprah with them for a while?
And
now Oprah's doing her own. She's doing her own Weight Watchers.
Her own
thing.
Yeah,
that was the name of her network too.
Yeah, I think it's still around.
It is still around because
Get hip, guys.
I catch First 48 on there every once in a while.
Oh yeah,
Really?
Shit.
That's on that network? Are you
yeah,
serious?
it's
she's
on like
queen. Of course, she's gonna have First 48.
Did Creighton ever tell you how I introduced him at Soundcheck Live? Because I think the first time I introduced him, he had the hood on and the leather and all that shit, and I just looked over. My God, King! My God! The dead man's here! It's the Undertaker! The Undertaker's here, King!
And he is descending from the heavens.
I'm gonna come down in that. Remember that time the Undertaker came out in the giant bat suit?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, you just wait. But then that means I gotta choke slam you. So.
Well, see, my favorite was when
play along. It's cool.
Was when Shawn Michaels came down dressed like the Undertaker as like a fake. He was like descending, and JR's delivering it like so passionately. Like
they made Shawn Michaels look like the Undertaker,
dude. Yeah, like this was in the
DX
days. This was in the DX days. No, he's just in a jacket and dark, and when you're coming down from that thing, the wide shot, you can't tell. You know what I mean? And so JR's like, oh my God, the conscience of the WWE. He's electrifying, and he is descending from the heavens. And then like kick into break it down, and it's like takes off the thing. It's like, haha, gotcha. It's really me, Shawn Michaels, trolled you. Like, I love that moment. And then another favorite, like guy dressing like another guy, was when the Miz dressed as The Rock. When like The Rock first came back in 2011 or whatever, and the whole crowd just went crazy because The Rock was coming back, so you never knew when you were going to see The Rock. It was like this huge thing, and then zooms in and you see it's the Miz, and everybody, oh fucker!
But nothing will top when Bret Hart left, and they said he was going to be on Raw the next night, and this midget came out.
Oh, man.
That was awesome.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's no
Brutal.
Gilbert, but what is?
Right.
Gilbert is, that's one of the best. The sparklers. Oh,
Yeah.
classic. Classic.
Christ, I forgot about the sparklers.
Dude, what a great touch. Whoever, we got to figure out, hopefully they do a Bruce Pritchard episode on Gilbert, and we can find out whose idea it was to do the sparklers instead of the. Well, maybe
Trying to find Dwayne Gilfer, I guess.
Yeah,
Fuck, I'd have him on in a second.
I bet you he'd be
I'm
pretty
trying
easy to find, right?
I'm trying to get X-Pac on.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be awesome.
Because he's in town, and then I think, don't quote me on this, and don't say, oh my God, he's going to be on his show, but I might be able to get Jericho too.
Nice. I actually got to meet him a couple
Super
weeks
nice
ago
guy.
at the Fozzy show for the first time. That was, well, not for the first time. I met him as a little chubby fanboy too, but that was waiting at a mall. That was a different situation for the autograph.
Did you listen? Have you listened to his latest one with? Do you listen to Jericho's show too?
A little bit. My favorite Jericho ones are the Talking Shop reduxes that when he has the Gallows and Anderson back.
Right.
Those are incredible. But
the one he just did with Craig Gass, who's been on this show too. I love Craig. But he was they were talking about people that they've met as kids.
Right.
So he says, wife just asked if this is a wrestling podcast, so I played Blue Monday for her.
Well, oddly enough too,
That's funny.
some Orgy songs have like wrestling title. Like the album is Candy. None of these are based off wrestling, but
Right.
they coincide with wrestling because there's Candy Ass, right? There's Suck It. There's Comeback, which I'm a fiery baby face, and I'm gonna make my comeback. You know what I mean? All that, like, I can relate anything I possibly can. To
We pretty much
wrestling.
relate our entire lives to that
Dude,
shit, so.
well,
I
Jesus
mean,
Christ,
not
I'm
proud of it.
45. Are you sure you're not my kid?
Who knows? My mom always said that, I probably am not my father's son. If it wasn't for my drumming ability, I would probably think otherwise. But, I feel like maybe that's a good hint. That's like, I guess this guy is my dad. But, there could have been some sort of mix-up. You never know.
You never know. I mean, well,
We're having a really freaky night.
You're not a ginger, but the ginger seed doesn't always pass. Sometimes
Right.
it's like the twins thing. It skips.
Well, and the height, too, because,
And the height.
neither of my parents are that tall, and I'm 6'4".
Oh, shit. I'm 6'4", dude.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
Case closed.
Thanks. Thanks for... Well, Dad, great to be here. You know what I mean?
Don't look at me for money. Al Bundy makes me look rich.
I feel you. Yeah, we're in the same boat. I'm one of those kids. It's like I'm the kid of a famous drummer, but that don't mean I'm a rich kid.
Right.
You
Well,
know what I mean?
yeah, let's talk about your dad a little bit. He was it Blondie?
No, close
Debbie
enough,
Harry.
right?
Debbie Harry.
Let's
Okay.
just go with that.
Well, he's played with
Missing
a lot.
Persons.
Missing persons.
Missing
There
Persons.
you go.
I believe he might have done a session or maybe done some work with Debbie Harry, but I can't confirm or deny that. I can guarantee you, yeah, he did Missing Persons. He actually like wrote a lot of the music. That was kind of his brainchild for the most part, and got Zappa musicians to play pop music. And it was this amazing, really groundbreaking thing that, oddly enough, is a huge influence on Orgy. You
Right.
know, and so it's kind of this weird, like circular thing where it's like, oh, dude, Jay's pretty stoked to have Terry Bozzio's son playing drums for him because Terry Bozzio was his favorite drummer growing up.
Oh, wow.
Still kind of is.
Yeah,
There's
he's
a lot of after shows, situations on the bus, and he just goes on and on about how much we'll play Missing Persons way too loud on the bus, and he just gushes about your dad's playing. So there you go.
Oh, there you go.
It's one of those weird things, right? Where it's just like, to me, he's just my dad, but then it's like, oh, you have like, your boss, quote unquote, talking about how great your dad is. You know what I mean? All this shit. And you're like, oh, like shit, like people going on.
For the
like,
record,
I'm sick of hearing it. You know what I mean?
Well, for the record, Raanen you still had to audition, by the way.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I didn't just
right.
And that's the other thing too is I will say I have not gotten a gig because of my dad ever. Or,
That's great.
I mean, maybe this helped a little bit, but
Right.
I had to definitely bring it. It wasn't just like, oh, you're hired based off your name. It's
Right.
like, come show up, play these songs, and then even then, to have like Jay's validation is super cool because I grew up listening to like Orgy. You know what I mean? Like I remember my cousin coming home with the like Family Values live CD compilation, and like that being a huge thing of like, I was super into all the new metal stuff because my cousin was, the cool older guy. So you just wanted to be like him, And now I get to play and go visit my cousin, and he gets to go see, one of his favorite bands, and gets to see his little cousin playing drums. It's like this really cool thing,
And apparently Casey is listening to Izzy while sitting naked on a beanbag chair eating Cheetos. There's a
male or female.
Talk about
that's a dude.
Oh, what's up, man?
It's a dude.
Right on.
Talk about a world of fascinating sounds that have got.
Just wanted a little context. I'm just saying. I mean, either way, it's kind of bizarre, but have at it, man. It sounds a little sticky though. It's gonna be hard to get off that beanbag depending on how hot the room is.
Can we have a request and just get an
How
audio
hot those Cheetos
recording
are.
of him eating Cheetos naked on a beanbag? Because I feel like just the noises that you would get out of that is like you could make a talking like a Flaming Lips album. You know what I mean?
I don't want to hear the Flaming Lips, which means I don't want to hear him eating Cheetos on a beanbag chair. I had to see the Flaming Lips once. They were opening up for the Black Crowes on their first record, on their first record, the Crowes' first record, and it's like the Flaming Lips. This is like a blues rock band with the Flaming Lips opening up, but they had this huge song on MTV at the time, so it was like,
Vaseline or Tangerines or
sure
one of the two.
You don't remember that one?
No. Like I grew up with later Flaming Lips.
Yeah, they all blew up and have the giant props on stage and 12,000 members or whatever the deal is. People love them.
I've actually been to that guy's like museum or whatever that he has in Oklahoma.
He has a museum?
From there. Yeah, he's like an artist or like an art gallery or whatever. It's this big, really cool space, and he has it all, decked out, and it was really cool. Yeah, I'm not like a huge Flaming Lips fan by any means, but I have respect for like Wayne Coyne, like as an artist and like creator. Like there's something to him, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm not like I couldn't name you maybe one or two, Flaming Lips songs. That's it, I'm not like I'm not gonna take offense to you being like, oh fuck, But I will say that his room, if you guys are ever in Oklahoma, I think it's Oklahoma City, I believe. Yeah, check out his little space because there's not much to do in that town anyway. So, go have yourself a grand old time. Go smoke inside. It's one of those places you can, there are places in Oklahoma where you can smoke inside. You know what I mean? And I'm not a cigarette smoker. I know Izzy is. You know what I mean? But kids, if you do, go to a place like Oklahoma. Go to the Midwest. Most places like that.
That could be like a tourist pitch for Oklahoma. Come to Oklahoma, smoke inside.
Exactly. Cigarettes are only $4 here. You know what I mean? Or whatever.
Oh God, I missed that.
Yeah, I won't. Don't quote me on that either. But the Midwest is always like it's always fun to go touring and play at places like that because drinks are like $2.50.
Yep.
Like, what? What is this world where I get to spend like a sixth of what I would spend in Los Angeles on? Like what?
That's why holy shit, the Twins are only down by 1 now. They were down 6-1 before. We're not watching.
You're talking
Raw.
about the Harris twins?
Yes,
Ron and Don, the now owners of Aero Lucha. No, sorry, go. That's a deep pull for all our wrestling fans out there. Yeah,
that's cool.
8 Ball and Skull. Yeah.
Oh, so back to the Jericho story, and I'm going to ask you guys this too, because they were talking about people that they had met, and as when they were young, and then went on to meet them later on, and didn't want to tell them what the experience was like. Jericho was talking about there was the Wild Samoans, Alpha and Sika, managed by Mr. Fuji, and part of the gimmick was they're from Samoa. They speak no English. They're from the jungle, so they didn't talk. And
kayfabe,
yeah,
sure.
It was totally kayfabe. I have a theory on kayfabe too. I miss kayfabe.
Yeah, for sure.
I miss it. But then he got his book, and this is when he was a kid. He went to get the book signed, and he goes, "You signed book? You signed book? Signed book?" And off he goes, "Fuck you, kid."
Damn.
Wow! And he wasn't pissed that he told him to fuck off. He was like, "Oh my God, you can speak English."
Yeah, heartbroken.
Right. That's awesome.
Have you guys ever had? Have either of you had that experience where you met somebody and then met them on later on in life where you're like, maybe I shouldn't have tell you what happened when we met the first time?
I wish I could remember. There's not too many. I feel like a lot of those people, luckily, I've been able to retain friendships throughout the years, or at least retain, knowing them. Do you have any? I mean, I guess Jericho. Jericho is the
There
first.
you go.
Yeah,
There you
that's
go.
perfect.
Woo!
Because the first, both times I met him. Because this most recent time I geeked out too. I was
Of
like,
course.
because it's so funny. I don't get starstruck over like I met like Jimmy Page, for instance, and I was like, oh, cool. Nice
I get
to meet
starstruck
you, what I
over
mean?
Creighton every time I see
Yeah,
him.
right?
absolutely.
Me too. Who doesn't?
I blew him backstage at soundcheck once, on principle,
Right.
Why do you think we get along so well? You know what I mean?
Right.
And
It
why
was
do you
like-
think
it's
you're
like
my
a
dad?
handshake.
But yeah, so the first time I met Jericho was at a mall. I was dressed like Chris Jericho
Oh,
because
geez.
I had the silver shirt that I had bought just for my own wear. You know what I mean? But I figured, well, if I'm gonna go meet Jericho, I might as well wear the silver shirt too. And I have my Y2J.
Was
shirt
this recently or
underneath.
the first time?
What? Oh, this was the first time. Yeah, I wish I still had that stuff. Oh, if I still had it, I totally would have busted that out. But I had that on, and then I had I got my autograph, and he was nice, like, oh, you got the shirt and everything, and we took a picture together, and so that was a super cool moment. 2001, 2000 Jericho, really starting to heat up, and then met him more recently at the Whiskey because my buddy Jack Slade, who's another son of a famous drummer, Chris Slade of AC/DC, he tour manages for Fozzy, so he's like, oh, come out to the show, and Chris wants to meet you, blah blah blah. Chris is like, oh yeah, we were jamming Spring Session M, missing person stuff, this and that. And I'm like, oh cool, I there's a picture of me like in the paper dressed as you, like all this stuff. Like I just go on. He's like, yeah, cool. Like the second I started talking about wrestling, he's like, great. This guy wants to talk wrestling. Like I'm finally out of the wrestling world for a little bit. I'm on tour.
Right.
I want to be in the rock world, and then but I totally get, and he wasn't a dick. Like
Right.
I
No,
do
Jericho's
this-
great, man.
and I'm not anywhere near the level of like a Jericho, but like I'll see myself doing that at times with like music, because it's like sometimes you'll just be out at a bar and you want to hang out and like not think about like, oh, this many BPM and playing blast beats and doing this and that, and you're like, dude, like why are you talking to me about this right now? Like can't we just have a good time and like
Right.
I'm like drunk right now, like I'd rather not talk about whatever the fuck so I get it for sure, Chris. No hard feelings. And he retweeted my picture of us on Twitter, so that was pretty cool of him. Shout out, and killed it, absolutely. Great vocalist, he's really come into his own with this whole music
Oh
thing.
yeah, dude.
It's good to see him
Yeah.
succeed, and,
You
like,
were at the Whiskey show. They sounded great.
yeah, they sold out, and that's the most packed I've ever seen the
Yeah.
Whiskey. Besides for Orgy, May 11th.
May 11th, or
Friday.
And you need to bring that shirt. That'd be perfect. May 11th. Bring it.
Yeah, bring the
The
silver
sparkly
shirt.
shirt, man.
Yeah.
That night was like one of the most LA things I ever experienced. I'm at the Whiskey A Go-Go watching a professional wrestler and his band at their sold out show, and I'm sitting there watching it and having a conversation with Mr. Belding.
Yeah. He's at every single
Dude, he's
wrestling
great,
event
man.
without like he's almost omnipresent in his like ability to be at wrestling events, because I see him
Mr. Belding?
yeah.
Yeah.
every single anything.
Oh, I didn't know I didn't know he covered wrestling
He's a
too. I know
huge
he's
fan.
everywhere else.
Yeah, and he's a huge rock fan.
What does he
He's a-
do? He's like everywhere.
He just does
He's just Mr.
appearances and
Belding.
acting.
Yeah,
and-
appearances, dude,
yeah.
for sure, man. He gets paid to be like Mr. Belding and do whatever. Like, well,
So he's everywhere.
yeah, there was an episode of Total Divas that had like Mr.
What?
Belding MC their like prom themed party for like
Oh,
somebody's
that's
birthday
awesome.
or whatever. Yeah, and he's like, I'm sure he did it for free. I'm like, fuck it, he's such a big wrestling fan. Who knows?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I just wonder if he's going to show up tomorrow. Or I don't think he's back in town yet. He gets back in town because he's going to come to the show when he gets back in town. Because tomorrow at the corner in that little fucking shopping mall at Santa Monica and La Brea, the Max is opening up. The restaurant on Saved by the Bell.
Oh wow, yeah,
What?
that's right. I heard about
That's
that.
crazy.
But I'm sure
I
it's
thought
gonna
you
be
were saying the
crazy
obscure
packed.
comic book
Yeah.
character, the Max, was opening up somewhere. Anybody remember the Max?
No.
Sam
No,
Keith?
no.
Nothing. It was even on MTV for a little bit.
Oh, man,
Nothing.
no.
Image Comics? Nothing.
I
Nobody.
remember Max Headroom.
Yeah, that was MTV too.
He's unforgettable.
Right?
That forehead. Once you know Mac, I mean, icon of the
forehead?
'80s, right?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Right.
What? We need more icon nowadays. Icons are Kim Kardashian. We used to have cool icons
Right.
like Max Headroom. What the fuck, man?
I don't know.
I'm talking about a decade that I was not alive in.
No, go on. Yeah,
Yes,
keep
yes,
reminiscing.
please let me explain. Children, gather round as I tell you the story about Max Headroom.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a short little minute and a half break. We'll come right back, and we'll actually get into the orgy stuff. Believe it or not. I mean, we could sit and talk wrestling for a fucking hour. Back. Get it?
What?
What? But before we go to break, please, guitar players. Chreighton, you're a guitar player, so you need to listen to this. You got here too late to plug it in before we went on the air. But beater amplification, balls out, rock and roll, hand-wired, testicular fortitude tone. Check them out. They're out of Minneapolis, Mankato, actually. I say Minneapolis, so I do not have to say the name of the state because of my horrible accent. I'm brilliant like that. Check out beater amplification. I am stoked. Hopefully, I got my fingers crossed that when I go back for those shows that my TCB1 head will be ready. My signature head, the beater TCB1 Izzy Presley model. Cannot wait. All I know is Ross from Beater said it is going to be something special, and that gives me a boner. And also check out John Palumbo Design. He designs stuff. You need a logo for your band. You need a logo for your website. You need your website done. Talk to John Palumbo and Casey. Casey, I know you're listening to me right now. When you get your ACK patches made, have John Palumbo design them. How badass would that be? Check out John Palumbo Design and Beater Amplification, and we'll be back in 2 and 2 with Chreighton Emrick and Raanen Bozzio. I got it right.
Bingo.
Hold on, I gotta do this.
Bingozio.
Get back, Bingozio. Get back to the effects and the commercials. So good. We'll be back in 2 and 2. RockstarLeatherworks.com is your home for badass rock and roll gear. Featuring 100% handmade leather bands, watches, cuffs, bracelets, and more, Rockstar Leatherworks has something for everybody. Whether you are going to the show or you are in it, you can find something to fit your needs. Choose from a variety of designs or create your own masterpiece. Their bands and watches are second to none. They also ship internationally. Who needs a stage to be a rock star? Check out RockstarLeatherworks.com.
Retro Arcade brings Minnesota and surrounding areas arcade games from the days gone by. All of those great games from pizza joints and arcades are available in cocktail units and custom machines. Dozens of favorites from your youth in one machine to complete your game room or man cave. Retro Arcade also sells and services your favorite pinball machines. Find them at facebook.com/80arcade. That's facebook.com/80arcade. Retro Arcade. Your youth is just one click away.
If you need to promote your band or business, or just want to stylize, personalize, or customize your ride, check out vid-decals.com. Want to create and customize your own stickers representing your band, or make your own bumper sticker? Vid Decals can do it. All stickers are printed on quality vinyl and can be placed on any flat surface. Stickers are an affordable way to promote your band or business. Go to vid-decals.com to get started. That's vid-decals.com. vid-decals.com.
Hey, what's going on? This is Tom Arnold. I like fat women and cocaine. And you're listening to Izzy Presley here on another fucking podcast. And I know Izzy from Cocaine Anonymous meetings. I've actually seen him at the meetings with Ace Von Johnson from, I probably shouldn't say this out loud, but Ace has got a bad coke problem. And his sponsor is Josh Todd from, and again, I shouldn't say this out loud, but Josh is his sponsor for Buck Cherry. He's addicted to upskirt porn. And they're both being sponsored by the Eagles. The whole band, the Eagles. Anyways, another fucking podcast right here with Izzy Presley, and call your sponsor. Fucking A.
God fucking Craig Gass rules. Welcome back to another fucking podcast. Chreighton Emrick and Raanen Bozzio from Orgy are in the house, and we might actually get to some Orgy talk here in a second, but I do want to tell you about A&P Productions Laser Engraving Division. Check them out at aplaser.com. It is that time of year. Graduation is coming up. Mother's Day is coming up. Father's Day is coming up in a little bit over a month. You can get shit engraved from A&P Laser Engraving Division. They do these really great things for me, and I have one of these packs left. They're called the Roadie Pack. It is a flask. It is a Zippo type letter. It is a dog tag and a flashlight, one of those little tiny clicky LED flashlights, all with the Another F Podcast logo on it. I have one left in stock. If you would like that, just PayPal me $30, $29.99, and plus $5 shipping and handling in the continental United States of America. and I will ship that out to you. I'll sign it and all that kind of good stuff. So check out A&P Laser Engraving Division. A&P Productions Laser Engraving Division. It's a mouthful. That's what she said. But just go to their website, aplaser.com. Now I got to finish this Jericho. There was a Craig guest. Where the fuck was I? I was talking about something.
People you met when you were young.
Yeah, yep.
Samoans.
I finished that story.
Craig Gass.
Fuck off kid.
The fuck off kid. Yep.
Shiny
I finished
shirt.
That. Yep.
Bozzio.
I was going to tell you mine.
Oh.
And this just happened. So about a year ago, I had Aiden Ashley on the show, porn star, adult film goddess, and we ripped it up. We partied after the show. We ended up at Steel Panther at the Roxy, and we end up backstage at Steel Panther at the Roxy. And I am in no condition to be talking to anybody, especially people who are famous.
Yeah.
And in a circle is Jeff Ross, Drew Carey, and Sophie Simmons. And I thought it was a brilliant idea to jump into that conversation.
Of course.
There was a pause, and I tapped Sophie. Because I always wanted to meet Sophie, because I'm a Kiss geek, and she's the Spawn. She's the pretty Spawn. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you're Sophie. She's like, yeah, who are you? I'm like, Izzy Presley, good to meet you. And I looked at Jeff Ross, I go, you were the first person I met, the first fan. And I'm just hammered.
Oh, man.
He goes, I'm like, wait, the second. He goes, who was the first? And I go, because I was drunk. I couldn't remember. Warren DeMartini, rat. And it was at the same place. He goes, oh, cool. Where was that? I go, the Taste of Sandra. You guys should all do a podcast. That would be awesome.
Do it together.
All together, all at once. We could do it right here.
Slumber party.
But then I caught myself, and I'm like, I am way too intoxicated to be having this conversation. You guys have a lovely evening. Nice to meet you. Bow out. A couple weeks ago, about 4 o'clock in the morning, I roll into Cantor's just to get some matzo ball soup because I just had a craving for matzo ball soup. And who's standing in there? Jeff Ross.
Of course.
And he looks at me and goes, hey, man, how are you? I'm like, you know who I am? Well, no, but I want to talk to him. I was like, dude, last time I met you, I was fucking hammered. And I made a fucking retarded ass out of myself. And I apologize. He's like, well, what happened? So I told him the whole story. He's like, dude, don't fucking worry about it, man. It's good to see you. What'd you do tonight? I'm like, wow. That's pretty cool.
Kicking it with
Thank you, Jeff Ross.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I have a Jeff Ross story.
Oh, please do.
When I was a kid, my early 20s, I actually worked for Hustler. Worked for Hustler Hollywood.
Oh,
and
nice.
I was actually manning the adult section, right? And part of that is you have to check ID, so on and so forth. But also you have to stock and clean adult products, right?
Right.
And Jeff came in, and he's like looking around, and he's like, hey, what do you have here that has a lot for not a lot of money? And I bring him over to the sales section. I was like, this right here, this DVD pack has 24 hours of porn in it. And he goes, man, I don't think I can jerk off for that long. It's pretty awesome, right? Yeah. There you go. That's my Jeff Ross story.
That is worth a...
Yeah.
And then I blew him.
Oh, of course you did. On principle. Fucking on principle. So, Creighton, you've been in Orgy since 2013.
Yes.
How did you end up in the Orgy world?
That is a good question. I was friends with Carlton, who actually is in Orgy now. Okay. And back in the day, early 2000s, I had my little baby band was called Vegas and Space. So we started in Ohio, moved out to Hollywood, kind of played around the scene, Dragonfly, and like Bar Sinister, Roxy, Whiskey. And he used to come out to the shows, Carlton and Ashburn Miller, and from the band Dead Z. And Carlton was in Desi at the time. Time goes on. I get kind of back into the music scene, and I hit up Ashburn, and I was like, hey, man, if you hear any auditions or anything along the lines of that you think I might be a good fit for, man, please let me know. He's like, it's funny you should mention it. He's like, because I'm thinking about moving on. I think you'd be a good fit for this, And he was kind enough to let me borrow his. It's actually when I first started, too. Off and on, I still use it, but I use actually a guitar synth in the band.
Oh, wow.
Which is like the legacy of the band in a way.
Right, yeah, that makes sense.
And so he was kind enough to like let me borrow that and use that and get to know it for a few weeks. And then I got a text from him saying, hey, come over, tonight's the audition. Feel free to come over tonight. We'll meet up and take it from there. And I show up and he goes, hey man, thanks for coming. He goes, hey, the guys have no idea this is happening.
That's awesome.
We just go in the room. He goes, hey guys, this is the guy. This is that I want to replace me in the band. He's going to audition right now. And everyone was super cool. And I shook everyone's hand. We played a couple songs, and a couple weeks later, I got the spot to play guitar in Orgy. So I've been,
they took a couple weeks to get back to you.
Yeah.
Dang, I knew that night, son.
Well, you had me.
I'm just funny. It is true though, but yeah, like I said, I did have Chreighton in my corner coming to bat for me pretty hard, and Chreighton has definitely been one of the.
See, now you have to learn synth guitar. That's the catch. Everybody that passes through the band has to learn.
If you will teach me synth guitar, I will do my best to learn synth guitar. I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Hey, at least it's not a keytar.
Well, time to learn, and then we move on to keytar.
Let's learn them both. Any of the tar instruments, I'm the drumitar. Have you guys heard about that?
I have not.
Reggie Wooten invented that.
What about Victor Wooten's
brother?
Oh,
yeah.
That is wild and weird stuff. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's like this weird drum guitar. It has like pads on it and stuff. Reggie's an insane guitarist and just guy in general.
Victor's insane.
That whole family, I'm sure. I think they have like another brother or something, but it's just like, I guess if your last name is Wooten, you slay life. Yeah. Just like Bruner too. The Bruners. If you guys know the Bruners, you got Ronald Bruner Jr., who plays.
That's a great name.
Yeah, dude. Well,
rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, right. It's a good one, right? Well, he's played for like, Shaka Khan, like all these like hip hop artists, like you name it. Yeah, and then jazz greats, and then like his brother Steven does Thundercat, right? Or Thundercat. I don't know if you guys have heard of Thundercat, but he's like this really sick artist. Did like this crazy like little solo jams and funky like weird out there stuff for like modern kind of R&B music. And then like one of the sisters sings. Like they all just slay at their instruments. And then both of the Bruner brothers, Ronald and Steven, played in Suicidal back in the day too.
Sick.
After Brooks left, Brooks and whoever the heck else, but yeah, it was he was the in between. He was the first crazy gospel drummer that they had before they had Eric Moore.
Yeah.
And then they just went into like Dave Lombardo mode, you know what I mean, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, he's great
I was
well.
lucky enough to actually Orgy played a show in Mexico of all places with Suicidal. We went on right before Suicidal. Was dope.
And was Dave playing with them?
Eric.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I went to see Queensryche on the it was on the Empire tour because they did Mindcrime front to back, and I wasn't a Queensryche fan. I just went because Suicidal was the opening band.
Suicidal and Queensryche?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a tour right there.
Yeah, I was a senior in high school. Oh, Jesus Christ. 1991. Fuck. I'm old. So,
well, I think that's the problem is people are pigeonholing stuff too much. Like back in the day, you could see bands like Suicidal and Queensryche on the same bill. Where it's like now it's like all, quote, quote, band, or
well,
this and that,
I think that's still kind of good in the same thing, though, because, I mean, I'll go to see a show at the Whiskey. It's like, I'm going to see fucking Enough's Enough at the Whiskey. I want to hear that kind of music.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear a hip-hop band opening up for fucking Enough's Enough.
I feel you, yeah, for sure.
You know?
At least...
But as long as it's in the rock world, that's cool. That's fine,
Yeah. Well, and especially, I mean, I would assume that Queensryche was probably hot into Suicidal for some reason.
Yeah.
That's why they took him, you know what I mean? So they're probably like, oh, this is what's balling to us right now, you know what I mean? But who knows? They could have just been a buy-on or whatever.
Oh, that could be too.
Yeah.
I mean, that was who knows?
Back in the day,
or
major
label
package.
Label package. There you go.
Yeah.
So is Jay? Is he the last original guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of bands like that though, but he's the singer, right?
Yes.
I honestly don't know a lot.
He's a singer. A lot of people don't really know what Jay does because he doesn't really put it out there. But Jay is actually a genius in the studio. He's a great songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, really, really good bass player, really good singer. He is. He just is.
He's like producing a lot of electronic music now.
Yeah.
Working
totally.
with big artists like
hip hop,
Marshmello,
R&B,
who's like this big
pop.
dubstep,
all over the place. He can do metal. He produced, a lot of people don't know, he produced like the debut Cold Chamber record.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so he's
truck.
Yeah, that one. Loco and
Big truck.
Fuck yeah. Yeah.
Do you guys run into I suppose you haven't yet. But like I'm an 80s guy, and like even Ace from fucking Pussycat, he still gets it. Dude, you're not fucking Brent Muscat. I mean, have you ran into that where people give you shit about being a replacement guy?
People have been really, really cool. I can say that as far as the fans go that come out to the shows. I think they see how hard I go. You know what I mean? Like, and they I get it. You know what I mean? I get that they're attached to the original lineup, and they can still support those guys. Those guys are still doing various projects. And who knows? Maybe something will work out in the future. They'll get their little dream scenario, or whatever. I don't take it personally. I just want to put on a fucking best rock fucking show that I can. Leave a great impression with people and have them go home fucking happy. Come out to the next show. It's that simple.
I thought the best thing I ever saw was LA Guns were playing in Minneapolis, and this is after Michael Grant had just joined them, and he just replaced Stacey Blades, and somebody in the front goes, "Dude, where's fucking Tracy?" and Michael goes up to the mic and goes, "Tracy ain't here. I'm Michael fucking Grant," and just fucking lays into it. It's awesome. So I know you guys got to fly here. You guys got hard out in like 4 minutes. New single coming out?
It is. Army to Your Party is what it is called. But it is. New singles coming out, new records coming out, new music. Sometime this summer with a tour starting in mid-August. August 17th is the start date. Dates aren't announced yet, and we're talking to some really, really cool fucking bands to tour with too. It's gonna be really fucking
killer. Cool. And then Friday the 11th of May at the Whiskey A Go Go.
Fuck yeah.
I probably won't be there. I'll be working.
Well, everybody else who's listening,
there. If you're within the sound of my face, come on out. Dude, thank you guys so much.
Yeah,
sorry we talked so much wrestling instead of talking about the band.
No. Yeah.
Obviously, we prefer to talk about
right. But you guys, anytime you guys want to come back, let me know. I do these fucking things. I call them drunken summits. I'll get like
I'm drunk right now. What do you know? Perfect.
Where I get like 3 or 4 people from different bands in, and we just sit and get hammered and talk about whatever. Kind of like what we did for the first 3/4 of the show.
Right.
So you guys are more than welcome to come back anytime.
That sounds like a lot of fun for sure. Yeah, I'm down.
Dude, it is.
Especially when I'm off my diet. I can just party
right.
and drink everything.
I'll say, dude, you dig into the archives and find some of the old links, some of the old Drunken Summit links. It's usually like Ace Von Johnson, Johnny Martin.
Yeah, dude, and it's funny,
Johnny Martin.
I've known Ace for about 7-8 years now. I mean, he's one of my closest, I love him to death. I love him like a brother, for sure.
Dude, we did one, and I think it went almost 3 hours. I got so hammered. I mean, I was literally the drunkest person around. Yeah. And we were like cold calling people. And we were like Howie Simon, Courtney Cox from the Maidens, Ricky Rackman. It was just, there was about 10 people that we called during the show.
And now next time you can cold call Stone Cold Steve Austin.
No. No.
What? I'm sure he would love nothing more than
Scotty, I love that idea. A drunken wrestling summit. That would be glorious. That's awesome.
Might be a special show, man.
Yeah, we could get some guys. We know plenty of guys who are not only in the scene around here, but who will talk some wrestling.
I could talk wrestling all freaking night. Oh, God damn it. Forgot to readjust the settings. Boom. There we go. Chreighton Emrick Raanen Bozzio, Orgy. Thank you guys so much. Let me hit my outro music here. Make sure you do. What's the Orgy website?
OrgyMusic.com.
OrgyMusic.com. And it's also Orgy Music on the Facebook.
So Orgy Official on Instagram.
And there you go.
Oh, yeah.
And check out our personal stuff, too. Raanen Bozzio, Raanen Bozzio on pretty much all platforms. And
Chreighton Emrick, CreightonEmrick, or catch us at weirdnameswhiteguys.com.
We're also tall.
Weirdnames.com. I love that. All right, cool. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll be back next week. Supposed to be Vinny Tortorich on Monday, but there is a scheduling conflict. We're going to try to get him in any other day So there will be a show next week. Also working on Chuck Garrick and Calico Cooper yet. We'll get something nailed down. God damn it. See you guys next week. And also, please check out all the social media. Izzy Presley 1 on Facebook for all the entertainment stuff like Soundcheck Live. Also, comedy stuff, you know. The show page is Another Effing Podcast. Twitter machine, Real Izzy Presley. And send me money. PayPal.me/Izzy Presley. And I'll send you my Waze voice navigation gimmick. Don't forget Minnesota next week, 2 weeks. That's right, in 2 weeks. May 18th at Stoney's in Rockville and May 19th at the Doghouse in Maplewood. Act a tribute to Ace Frehley is going to be a blast. Going to stock up on Mick Golden Light. It's going to be like the Smokey and the Bandit run, except for Mick Golden Light to Minnesota. Can't wait. We'll see you guys then. And in the words of Pat Fontaine and the Iron Sheik, would you kindly please go fuck yourselves?